Hi guys, hope you're well. Welcome to DOdaily. It's Des here, just out and about, getting in my usual Friday morning walk, ready to attack the day, wake up to walk. Really looking forward to it today. As you can see, I'm out and about in the middle of Nottingham. Been here a couple of times. What I will say, it's really quiet. It has been the times I've been before. I purposely come to see how eerily quiet it is on a Friday morning. But with it being Good Friday, with it being a bank holiday, there's not that many people about. So I thought I'd come, but there's an extra reason today. As you can see behind me there, don't need to introduce this fella. Everybody in Nottingham knows who that is. Although it's Robin Hood for those that don't. What I thought I'd do is something a bit different over the next couple of weeks. Of course, I've been out and about in the parks in Nottingham, trying to come from somewhere different, showing people that we can get our activities wherever we are. Do you know, I've even done sort of linear walks, point to point, through certain areas. Again, just highlighting that we can get out and get active. We can get up early and really make the most of the day. But what I'm going to do is just a bit of a personal challenge really. I'm going to follow the Robin Hood Trail. Actually starts at this very point. I'm going to get going now, but I'll keep talking. As you can see behind me there, Nottingham Castle. The trail spans for 100 miles across Nottinghamshire and a little bit of Derbyshire, but it's only a few miles, so I can deal with that. Kind of zigzags up the county and finishes in Sherwood Forest. So what I'm going to do over the next probably lots of weeks is follow the trail, complete it. Do you know, some weeks I'll do 3 or 4 miles, some weeks I'll have to do a little bit more, otherwise it'll take me a very long time. So really looking forward to doing that. It's giving me I always talk about adding a bit of intention and purpose to these things, so it'll definitely do that. Definitely give me something to go at and sort of get through and feel that achievement I always talk about as well. Small wins, the small wins, eh? Do you know, and when you do things like that, it's really important, isn't it? I'm not going to get too deep into that today. Just walking down by the castle, just a few loose facts about that. It's really well known, like I say. Dates back to the 13th century. It's believed to be the battleground of the Sheriff of Nottingham and Robin Hood, of course. And despite the fact the exterior looks like a castle, do you know, it's much maligned locally because the actual part, the main part of the castle looks like a stately home these days. It was a castle at one point. It was looked like a castle at one point, but it was destroyed at the end of the English Civil War, and then it was rebuilt, and they just rebuilt it a little bit different. So that's what that was all about. At the moment, it's actually going for a £30 million renovation, do you know, and they're looking to do 1 or 2 new things with it. Just been informed, actually, the road I'm walking down, they're going to create a little monorail type thing to ferry people from the bottom up to the top there. It's quite a steep hill, although we use it a lot for running. It's part of the Robin Hood half marathon, which I do every year. Really tough bit, but really well supported at the top as well, so really popular on that. I'm just walking down to the trip to Jerusalem. Not easy to say at this time of the morning. Anybody who's ever been to Nottingham or knows Nottingham knows what the trip's all about. It's believed to be the oldest inn in England. That's what they sort of credit themselves on. You can see there, and you can see the stately home looking castle in the background. Trip's a lovely little place to visit, you know, amazing feel to it, you know, and whilst it does claim to be the oldest, there's 2 other pubs in Nottingham that claim to be the oldest as well, so who knows, eh? Lots of theories about that too. Robin Hood used to meet there before going to the castle, before going down the caves and things like that. But yeah, I just thought I'd do something a little bit different, you know, just to always talk about that intention and purpose and using our time effectively, and that's what it's about, isn't it? Today I'm going to sort of probably taking about 3 or 4 miles. I've not measured it. I know where I'm walking to. I'm walking to Woollerton Hall. The first part of the route, once I get to the bottom of the hill here, goes on to the Beeston Canal, goes along to Highfields, Nottingham University. I'll be walking through there, and then up over the Derby Road into Woollerton Park and finishing there. I've arranged to meet Kay. She's dropped me off and then drove over, and she's going to run, so she's out and about as well. And like I say, that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's just about getting in that all important daily activity, finding ways to make it interesting, to make it quirky and fun, because sometimes it's not easy. I'll be honest with you, today really struggled to get out of bed. I know I say that most Fridays, but feeling the after effects of that COVID vaccination. Had the second one now, so hopefully I'm nearing the end of all that, but feeling it just a little bit, really starting to struggle a bit and struggle to get up, which I've not done for quite a while. I've been talking about how I've got my sleeping intact a little bit, by making some of these real positive changes, so not to worry, I'm still out. This will do the trick in clearing my head a little bit. I always say that. Really nice building there, look, as well. Holds a gym and such things. I never really noticed it before. Sometimes in your own city, you tend to walk around with your head in your phone or your, head down. You never really look up. When you go somewhere different, you tend to look up, don't you? There you go. Just something to consider when you're out and about in Nottingham, especially when it's as quiet as this. It's whilst there is a bit of traffic now because I've come from the pedestrianised area, it is so quiet today. I'll get pictures along the way. That's all part of the process now, to share, to show people what I've been seeing, and I'm sure this is going to create a bit of a catalogue of those, some really interesting places along the way. Those I've mentioned already, but also you're looking at places like Newstead Abbey, Sherwood Forest itself, Major Oak, little battlegrounds for Robin Hood along the way too, which will make it interesting, stuff to read up on, stuff to pass on. So really looking forward to it, really looking forward to doing something that little bit different. Just getting down onto the canal now, which is about a 2 mile stretch before I finish. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Really glad I'm up and about. You might have just heard the bells there for little John. He's the council house bell in Nottingham city centre is named after him. So there's lots of reference to Robin Hood, of course. We pride ourselves on the fact, despite some people try to use his name to their benefit as well, he's definitely Nottingham, I reckon. But there you go. Yeah. So this week, just a bit of time to reflect now, and it's been about time, hasn't it? On Monday I spoke about the importance of using our time effectively, and it's something I've really sort of had to consider, because I've been really busy, really sort of pushed myself to the limit, and I've been almost waiting for the weekend to have a little break, because that's important too, isn't it? And time out like this, whilst lots of people might think it's time to sort of get up and crack on with what they need to do, if I didn't do this, I'd be really stressed out, really struggling, and whilst I've not been as active because of the injury, I need to be as active as I can. I've been saying all week how sometimes you need energy to make more, and that's definitely the case. Because I've not been able to get out there, I think that's one of the reasons I felt a little bit sluggish, so I need to do whatever I can, and this is all part of it, as well as the fact I absolutely love it. But I'm almost working on myself to build myself up to do all the things I need to do. Busy weekend ahead, which we've not been able to say for quite a while. Lots of plans to meet people, all of course socially distanced and safe, but at least we have that opportunity now, so it's something to be really positive about. Fortunately the weather's not fantastic and it's supposed to get worse, But that's always the case on bank holiday, isn't it? That's not a COVID issue, that's just a UK issue. It's always the case. So yeah, it's just about doing all those things, enjoying it, making the most of it, using my time effectively, and realising that by doing it, by being busy, it kind of fulfills you, doesn't it? It makes you realise that if you are doing it, if you are keeping yourself fully on the go, it's perfect for rewarding us with satisfaction, with more energy to do what we need to do. Because when you do sit there, and we're all guilty of it, we all do it probably at least once a day, we do it at least several times a week. We sit there and don't do very much, and then stress that we've not done very much. Well, that's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's really, really daft when you think of it like that. But we do it, so it's important just to make the most of it, do things like this, and like I say, keep thinking about it, keep evaluating. I know personally I've been stressing about not being able to run fast and do these things. Whilst I managed to keep that streak going, I've just got to look at that, and that's the positive. I think today, and I'm not sure, I genuinely just think, I think today is day 150 of running at least 5k a day. And with all the adversity thrown in, all the difficulties of COVID, everyday life, busyness, things happening to other people, and of course this past week the injury, that's a fine achievement. I'm quite proud of that fact, I'm not ashamed to say, whilst I don't sort of religiously count it every day, and sort of add it all up, again, it's one of those small wins, isn't it? It's one of those things I can take and say, I've done it, and yes, this week I've been a little bit sort of stubborn in the fact I wanted to keep going, because I knew I was roughly around this figure, but I've not pushed myself, I've taken it easy. All I've done is done enough to keep me going, to keep my mind sort of solid, because I know when I'm not running, when I'm not walking, when I'm not out there, it really impacts me, and I don't want that. I want to feel great about what I'm doing, and that's something I've definitely been over this past week, whilst the injury itself and a few things I mentioned over the last weekend kind of got to me a little bit. I've brushed all that off and really give it a real go again. And don't get me wrong, there's plenty going on, there's plenty to consider, plenty to think about, lots of concerns with one or two people, and their health and things like that, but we have to sort of keep going, don't we? As much for ourselves as them, because if we're in a good place, then you've just got to keep showing and setting the example. And that's all I'm trying to do by waking up to walk, talking about all these things. I said on Thursday Thoughts that I'm not that you have to listen sometimes, you have to take stuff in, and if I can do that, pass some of it on, but at the end of the day, actions speak louder than words, don't they? So, if you're doing the right things, if you're getting out there, I mentioned the fact there that somebody gave me some advice who didn't really follow it themselves, really, really good advice. Fortunately, I was the one that followed it. I took it on board, I listened, and I've felt much better since that day. And that's the reality of it. I'm not sure that person even knows, but I felt fantastic for it, and that's all it's about, isn't it? Improving all the time. Whilst it's not a smooth incline, it's not always a steep incline, sometimes you have to take the hits on the way. It's about doing whatever you can in the meantime, and that's what it's about. Things like getting out and starting a brand new challenge, whilst it's not physically demanding, it's going to take a bit of preparation and planning, this 100-mile walk, over the next so many weeks, but something I'm definitely looking forward to, and seeing a few new places. Whilst I probably know most of it, it'd be interesting to see how much I do know. I'm interested to see how many new places I visit, drop in a few random useless stats, and just keep you informed of how I'm going. And if you can find something similar, it doesn't have to be so long, or you look back on any of the previous wake up to walks and think, I could do that, that'd be great too, wouldn't it? What I'm going to do is carry on a little bit further down the canal, and I'm going to come back to you towards the end of today's walk. I'll let you know how far I've gone, and I'll have a Saturday selfie, of course, on a Friday. We try to do that, encouragement for you to get out there and for a walk or a run or a cycle. Use it whichever way you want. I'll be back soon, guys. So I've left the canal, had to cross over the busy A52, and as you can see, now I'm at Nottingham University. This is the amazing Trent building, very picturesque. It's on the Highfield site. The lake behind me was the boating lake in the summer. Lots of people enjoy that. Another really, really nice place, and the next place along this journey of significant interest. I did promise you there that I'd bring you that Saturday selfie, and of course, with it being Easter, this week's theme will be all around that, just that, just something to use to add a bit of purpose, like I'm doing today, into your activity tomorrow, to share, post back in so we can share that across the story and across the social media. All the links are at the end of the video as ever, just basically what I'm doing, just trying to sort of vlog and account the journey, and that's all it's about. So if you can get out, guys, make sure you do. We've got the long weekend, we've got time to do lots more things than normal. It's absolutely perfect opportunity to really enjoy yourself. For those locally, I'm working on a bit of a local challenge, what might add to that, so look out for that in the closed Facebook group, the Closed Do Running Facebook group, and it was something to go at, and that's what it's about, isn't it? It's really interesting. Actually, at the moment I'm just walking up to some stepping stones across the lake. Really nice little spot, which I really enjoy seeing. I've not actually been here for such a long time until I came recently to do a DOdaily, so seeing them again is amazing. But the stepping stones just made me think that sometimes, for myself personally, the week is a bit of a stepping stone for the weekend, because I can really get out and make the most of what I'm doing. And that's all I'm looking to do there, guys, give you the opportunity to get involved in what we're doing, share and motivate, use that time we've got for ourselves, when we work so hard in the week, when we're so busy. And the reality is we probably do 70-80% of the week worrying about work, life, the future, the past, when sometimes at the weekend we can just take that step back, and if we can use that time when we don't get enough of it, that's fantastic, isn't it? I'm going to finish this journey, just heading through the university park now. Just a few things about that, sorry. It was opened by King George V, the Trent building. The university has been around since the 17th century. That was sort of early to mid the 19th century when it was opened officially, and of course it sits next to the Queen's Medical Centre, so there's a lot of sort of medical science and things like that specialised. When it was opened by King George V, a few really famous people came along: Gandhi, Wells, Einstein. And apparently in there's still a blackboard used by Einstein in the physics department, which would be great to see, to be honest. But perhaps on another day. So, like I say, I'm just going to sort of head towards Woollerton Park, out of the university park. Check in quickly to let you know how I've got on. I'm nearing the end of my journey now. I've just recrossed over the A52, coming out of the university park behind me and coming to the amazing Woollerton Park. come here quite often for various different things. You know, it's an amazing place. Lenton Abbey just to the left of me, and the golf course to the right, and the hall just up on the hill. But I'll show you that next week. I'll start from here. As mentioned, it is pretty accurate with my guess. It's about 3.5 miles. Real tough section, that last bit. But hopefully you've enjoyed the video, guys. Hopefully it's been interesting. And you've taken on board a few of the things I've said. Of course, that's what it's all about. It's just about making that time to get up and really attack the day. Get in your activity. Hopefully I've inspired you to do that in some shape or form. Get out for a walk. You can do it absolutely anywhere. It doesn't have to be a trail. I just thought I'd use the vlog to do something that little bit different. If you've got any questions or any comments you'd like to make, please add them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I'll do my best to answer any of those. I really appreciate it if you do. Of course, like, share and subscribe the video if you've taken anything from it. Like I've said many times, it's just to try and get people going, show them that we can do this absolutely wherever we are. If you're out and about the weekend, don't forget that Saturday selfie, put an Easter theme to it. You know, there's so many things we can do with that. So try and make the most of it the best you can. Like I say, keep commenting, keep posting. Love to hear from you. I'm just walking up to the hall. I will show you it before I go. It's in the distance there. I'm not sure you can see it. You probably just about can through the trees. Hopefully Batman's mashing. There you go. Now I'm off to get coffee and breakfast, upload the video, and I've done leg 1 of the Robin Hood Trail. Until Monday, have a great weekend, enjoy everything you do, get in plenty of activity. Final reminder for that, you know, final bit of encouragement. Keep encouraging and supporting, and keep enjoying what you do. Just doing it.